Subscribe and hit the bell icon and never miss another video.
When I saw KGF1, I was completely blown away. I love doing these parts where I just have to wear a cotton sari, not do any makeup. And I think now Sanju knows what we feel when we wear 25 kgs ka ghagras and wig and jewelry and dance in the burning sun.
We are looking forward to a bigger journey than what's gone.
Everything that humanity went through, I think everyone needs that break out again. नहीं ये तो करना जरूरी है, ये तो जरूरी करना ही है तुम लोग को.
Hey guys, my name is Shravan Shah and today I'm going to be having a conversation with two very talented people here. We have Raveena Tandon Sanjay Dutt in the house. What's up guys? How are you guys doing?
Woohoo! All good. So far so good.
Coffee yelling and shouting has happened for this interview because I said two talented people in one film. Love this. KGF Chapter 2. Okay. What I love about the film is that I have watched the first part 12 times.
Wow.
I've counted it. I have watched it
Wow.
12 times. So when I watched the trailer in the theatre, I'm like, this is like dream come true. Okay, for me as an audience. Okay, as actors, was that the similar feeling you all went through when you all were working on the film?
Well, I mean, it wasn't a dream come true for, I think, Raveena and me. We've done too many films.
Yeah.
But definitely it was a very different and a very original and a very amazing film.
Yeah.
And amazing characters to play.
True.
Even I have seen KGF, the first part. It was amazing. And it was really an honor and a pleasure to be a part of this.
Yeah. What about you, Raveena?
I think the same thing. Working with all of them is always a treat. And when I saw KGF1, I was completely blown away.
Yeah.
And I thought it was just amazing to be a part of this whole team.
Yeah. Also, the characters that you all play, there's Ramika Sen and Adira. I know the characters by heart because somewhere they've etched in my memory. Okay. When it came to Adira, okay, the costume looks really heavy that you've worn. Okay. How heavy was it? 40 kgs?
No, about 20, 25.
But wearing that and shooting was a task in itself, right?
Yeah, it was difficult, but I mean, once you start loving your character and loving the film, I think वो सब आसान हो जाता है वो सब इतना वो उस पे ध्यान नहीं जाता I think you know and you're there trying to concentrate on your performance and different things in the film that it doesn't it is difficult but
Of course.
but then you go along with it.
Yeah, makes sense. What about Ramika Sen?
Well, I think it was just very easy for me. He had about 25 kgs to wear and I had 25 saris to change.
Love it.
But no, jokes apart, I was very, very easy because I love doing these parts where I just have to wear a cotton sari, not do any makeup. And I think now Sanju knows what we feel when we wear 25 kgs ka ghagras and wig and jewelry and dance in the burning sun.
Yeah.
So I guess now he knows
Yeah,
what we feel
of
like. No?
course.
So this was easy for me to do.
Yeah. No, the reason why I asked it is because कोई भी film ले लो, okay, whether it's made in India, whether it's made in the West, you need to have a strong yin to your yang. Okay. So if Yash is the yin here, surprisingly he has two yangs and he does not only have to deal with Adira, he also has to deal with this lady here. Okay. And it's very important that the characters bring that kind of weightage, and I mean, who better than two people sitting here to do that? So that's one of the reasons when I watched the trailer, I was like, this is fab. Okay, coming to your journeys, guys. 3 decades in the industry, 4 decades in the industry. Okay, have you all fathomed the fact that, hey, it's been such a long time doing films?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, it's been a long time and it's been a fantastic journey and we are looking forward to a bigger journey than what's gone.
Yeah.
You know, and it's been beautiful and it's been just a lesson all the way.
Makes sense. What about you?
I think what has been great about both our careers is that both of us have evolved. You know, I would not use the word reinvent because when you anyway play a different character, you are inventing a different character, right? So there's nothing about reinventing, but the fact is that you're evolving constantly, you're moving with the times. 80s cinema was different, the 90s was different, then came the 2000 and now we are here in 2022.
Yeah.
And it's something that I guess which has been fantastic. Times change, we change along with it. But what has been absolutely, I think, that remains the same, is constant, is him and me. So and the way we've always been. So that is the fun part of it all.
Makes sense. I have to say this, that I watched Arandak and you've done a fab job in it. I mean,
Thank
what
you.
a show and what a performance.
Thank
so,
you. Thank
kudos to you for Arandak.
Thank you.
Another thing that I want to discuss with you guys, okay, and this, again, this question is to both of you, okay. Now, when you talk about the 80s and the 90s Hindi cinema, okay, you always had a very strong hero and then you had a very strong villain, okay, or the antagonist. And that's why you remember a Mogambo or a Gabbar,
Gabbar,
okay.
yeah.
But somewhere as cinema kept evolving, do you think that entire heroism image that we had kind of started fading away? And that's one of the reasons why people can relate to a character like this. Because to be very honest, if you take the Hindi cinema, the last antagonist that we remember is Kancha Cheena from Agnipath. After that, you've not had a really strong villain to remember. Do you think that fading away somewhere is the reason why people can immediately connect to this? Because let's be honest, this is not a story. It's a villain, a hero, and the fight between the good and the bad. Do you think somewhere that today, somewhere the society or the viewers need a strong antagonist, because then मजा आता है देखने के लिए कि यार villain और actor के बीच में जो fight होगा क्या होगा? What do you guys have to say about it?
Well, I mean, personally, I don't know what his opinion would be, but I feel, cinema has always been about larger-than-life characters.
Yeah.
The screen experience that you have when you sit in the theatre and you watch something unfold, and you want to whistle and you want to clap and you want to cheer, and that whole emotion that you go through sitting in that dark theatre watching these characters unfold in front of you. I think that experience on its own should be larger than life.
True.
I think even in our Hindi industry and all over, I think a lot of films started coming that were, slice of life kind of films, and, happy, sweet, realistic, and we've done so many realistic films also, which also have actually larger than life villains or the heroes there. But I think, especially after this pandemic and this COVID and everything that humanity went through, I think everyone needs that break out again to, instead of watching things which are meant for the small screen, to watch a magnum opus like this on big screen and go there and clap and be free and, throw out their emotions. And I think KGF is an answer, KGF Chapter 2 is an answer to all that emotion. And for me, that is an experience one wants to go into the theatre for.
Makes sense. Wow. What about you, Sal?
No, I absolutely agree with Raveena, what she just said. And if you look at even Hollywood, I mean, why, if you look at Hollywood, you look at Avengers or Thanos, or you look at Thor, or you look at anything big they make, I mean, the bad guy is always too powerful.
True.
To make the hero be powerful.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is in KGF. And I think that kind of cinema will come back. Raveena is right, that was slice of life and boy next door and girl next door and all. I mean, it's a phase, I think.
Now you can watch that on OTT, you watch that on your small screen, you can sit at home and watch that. But when you want to go for that actual theatre experience, this is something to look forward to.
Also, when you'll play characters, like for example, you've played a politician before in Santa. Okay. When you have a very, I wouldn't say similar character, a politician role. Okay. How much of Raveena has to make sure consciously that, hey, I have done this before. Okay. I don't have to repeat it, but I have to show a different side of the politician this time. How much consciously do you decide that before you go on set?
Well, I think this was very, very different. And I think it's also what matters is not my decision on my own as to how I'm going to play my character.
Sure.
It's always the director's contribution for sure. So when it was Satta, the role was different, of this naive girl getting into this big bad world of politics, and then you have, then the rest of the story unfolds. But when you come to a level of the kind of performances that are in KGF 2, and of course the director's vision, then you try to match up to that level of what the director also sees your character as.
Yeah.
And I think that is what makes the character then entirely different, and a very different way of playing it. And that's exactly what I did. In fact, after every shot, I would look at Prashant and he would say, either take it up. There was never a notch down. He would always say, take it a notch higher.
Yeah.
So I would look at him, and then when the shot would be okay, I'd turn and look at him, and then he used to do this. I used to say, okay, now I've reached that level.
Yeah.
So it's like, You know, so it's how you mold yourself according to what your director wants as well.
Makes sense. So for you, when you play an antagonist, and like you said, you need the villain to be so powerful that लोगों को लगना चाहिए यार ये कैसे beat hero कैसे beat करेगा इसको, ठीक है? Of course, in your head also you have, you know, कि Adhira according to me is this, and on paper, तो of course they've written it, right? How much of Adhira in your head which you form do you bring to the shoot कि अच्छा मुझे ये ऐसे play करना है?
You know what? I'm a very instinctive actor. I'm not the guy from the book. कि मेरे को ऐसा करना है. You know, I don't prepare my lines. I don't do anything. I go to the set. I'm there on the set. I feel the set. I feel the director, and I perform.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know Adhira's focus to go and get KGF.
Yeah.
That is it. But how he should look and everything like that, we discuss with the director and
For
everything. And Prashant, again, like what she said, I mean, like me as an actor, I give myself to him. Yes, I will discuss with him and I'll tweak a little bit here and there, but he will guide me through the journey.
Nice.
You know, and that is what a good director is about.
Yeah.
You know.
Makes sense. But as actors, it also makes a lot of difference, right? When, of course, जो पेपर पे लिखा है तो ठीक है, but जब तुम खुद से कुछ करते हो instinctively, तो उसका इफेक्ट बहुत अलग आता है जो probably राइटर ने भी नहीं सोचा होगा कि यार ये ऐसे हो सकता है.
नहीं वो तो होता है. You add your little bit of touches, you add your nuances. Yeah.
But has this ever happened with both of you all where the director is like, listen, this is not written, you can't do this, or you do it in the framework of whatever is for your character? कैसे करते हो आप?
Raveena, I feel that, you know, I mean, definitely, I mean, there are so many directors who told me, he says, listen, I can't feel the character the way you feel it, or even how she may feel it, because I mean, we are playing that.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, for actors like us, we won't make a frivolous decision, you know, or a statement or a suggestion.
Yeah.
You know, that suggestion will make sense in the parameters of that.
That's what I was saying. Makes sense. Also, as actors, do you all have this? Because I've heard this, like actors do this, that when you're playing a certain character, you have a certain perfume probably that you'll spray, that perfume will remind you of this character. That whenever you're getting into the skin of the character, that perfume will. Or is there something specific that you do? That
who does that? But
a lot of actors do.
It's
what?
Yes.
There was some talk. Even I heard. I was at a round
that if
table
I wear
thing
that perfume,
where,
then I'll remind me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some people.
You were there at the round table when this conversation happened.
Wow.
Okay.
At some actors' round table, so some of the actors use this method now. They use a particular song or a particular perfume to remind them of a certain character they're playing, and then they remain in that character.
You do something like this? कि ऐसे कुछ करना है कि अच्छा अधीरा की याद दिला दे.
अच्छा?
ऐसे कुछ करते हो आप? मतलब पूछ रहा हूँ मैं.
मैं तो शॉक हूँ कि ऐसा ये अच्छा. I didn't know this.
Clearly, both of you all don't do this.
नया
Because
technique.
let's be honest, amazing actors.
See, to each his own.
True.
Whatever works for whoever.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so
makes sense.
it does.
Yeah.
But I have never used anything of that sort. But there are times when I've carried a character home.
That is what I was going to ask.
Yeah, like after I came back from Aranyak, the way I was talking only changed. So I was saying something to someone at home, and I said, "नहीं, ये तो करना जरूरी है. ये तो जरूरी करना ही है तुम लोग को." So my mother-in-law said, "जरूरी क्या होता है? जरूरी." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry." So you know, sometimes you just carry that little bit home till you get back to what. Yeah. So it's just that, if that's ever happened to me once or twice, but otherwise not really.
Not really. What about you? Have you ever carried
No,
you're a switch on, switch off?
Yes, I am.
But
I'm lucky that way.
Imagine carrying Adhira home to his kids.
Yeah,
his kids
that
would
would
be
be
petrified.
scary.
They would not be able to come out of.
Yeah, but listen, you know, as actors, because you're constantly, okay, play along with your emotions, okay. Do you think that also keeps your emotions on the border, because something can instantly irk you, or you can instantly feel sadness because you're constantly playing with your emotions? It's a very complex job to be an actor.
It is, but I mean, for me, I mean, you shut the camera off, I'm off. And if it's on, then I'm on. And I don't carry that back home, or I don't think those things affect me consciously, at least.
Makes sense. What about you?
I only got very disturbed. That's what I was trying to think ever, if I carried anything, was when I shot for a film called Matra.
Yeah.
It dealt about mother and daughter getting raped, and the girl child dying, and And that was harrowing. I had sleepless nights. I mean, as a mom myself with 3 daughters, it was a harrowing thing for me to go through. I remember I was dubbing for it and it would stop and I couldn't stop crying. So that was the time that would happen to me, because I know that these are real life things that happen to real people.
Yeah.
Here I was just emoting and I could feel the pain.
Yeah.
And I could feel what that mother must have gone through seeing her daughter in that state. In reality, whether you take a Nirbhaya or you take any of our daughters from any of our states, any of our villages, which this traumatic experience that they go through. So the pain the mother feels or the family feels is unfathomable.
Coming back to KGF, guys, I am really excited, like I said, for chapter 2. And I know this is going to be a big one. So all the very best to both of you all.
Thank you.
And I think I'm going to see you all for the success interviews now.
Thank you.
It's a wrap.